Keep your mouth completely shut. Stop right here. Do not move your finger. Do not even blink. Because the exact second you opened this message, something you were never supposed to hear has already begun unfolding around you. This is not random. This is not a coincidence. You are not here by accident. Chosen one, you were led here, positioned here, because heaven has marked this exact moment as a turning point in your life. And the very first instruction given to you is this: keep your mouth completely shut, not out of fear, but out of divine strategy, because what is happening right now cannot be protected by your words. It can only be protected by your silence. There are movements in the unseen, alignments shifting, people being repositioned, truths rising to the surface. And if you speak too soon, you will interrupt what God Himself is orchestrating for you behind the scenes. Archangel Michael says, your silence in this hour is not emptiness, it is warfare. It is protection. It is authority being established without noise. Someone has been watching you more closely than you realize. Not just in the physical, but in the spiritual. They have been observing how you respond under pressure, how you carry yourself when misunderstood, how you handle moments when you feel the urge to explain, defend, or prove yourself. And right now, everything is being tested. This is the moment that separates reaction from revelation, weakness from authority, chaos from calling. You are closer than you think to a breakthrough that will shift everything. And one wrong word, one emotional reaction, one unnecessary explanation could delay what has already been prepared for you. So I need you to focus. I need you to stay. I need you to listen until the very end, because something huge is waiting for you. And this message will only make sense if you allow it to fully unfold. If you feel something stirring inside you right now, if your spirit recognizes that this is for you, then type, "I will remain silent," in the comments as your declaration. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share this message with another chosen one who needs to hear this before it is too late. Now tell me, can you truly stay silent when everything in you wants to speak? Or will you miss what is about to be revealed next? There are eyes on you right now, and not all of them are celebrating your rise. Some are watching in silence, studying your movements, measuring how close you are to stepping into something greater than you have ever experienced before. You may not see them, you may not hear them, but you can feel it, that subtle tension in the atmosphere, that unspoken shift when you enter a room, that quiet resistance that appears for no clear reason. It is because your life is no longer operating on an ordinary level. You are approaching a threshold. And whenever destiny begins to accelerate, observation increases. Not everyone around you wants to see you cross that line. Some people are unsettled by your growth because it exposes their stagnation. Others feel threatened by your silence because they can no longer predict or control you the way they once did. And then some pretend to support you, who smile in your presence but secretly hope you slow down, hesitate, or doubt yourself long enough to miss your moment. This is why the instruction remains so precise. Silence is not just protection from conflict, it is protection from interference. Because the more you speak, the more information you reveal, and the more access you give to people who were never meant to understand your next step. Heaven has been observing how you handle pressure, how you respond when you feel misunderstood, and how you carry yourself when you are tempted to explain your every move. And right now, something critical is being measured. Your restraint is being noted. Your discipline is being weighed. There is a line you are about to cross. And the moment you cross it, certain people will no longer have access to you the way they once did. But before that happens, there is always a phase where everything feels watched, where energy feels tight, where reactions feel provoked. This is not random. This is alignment under pressure. And the truth is, the closer you get to your breakthrough, the more uncomfortable it becomes for those who benefited from the version of you that explained, chased, and gave away your power too easily. So stay aware, stay grounded, because what feels like tension is actually confirmation. But here is the question you need to ask yourself right now. If your silence is already making people uncomfortable, what is it about your next level that they are afraid of? Silence is not optional anymore. This is where everything becomes serious. This is where many people fail without even realizing it, because they mistake restraint for weakness and reaction for strength. But what is happening around you right now is not casual. It is strategic. It is spiritual. And it is being watched more closely than you understand. Every word you are about to say carries weight. Every reaction you are tempted to release has consequences. And if you break your silence at the wrong moment, you will not just respond, you will reveal, you will expose your timing, your emotions, your position. And that is exactly what the wrong people are waiting for. They are waiting for a crack, a signal, a single moment where you step out of alignment so they can step back into control. That is why this instruction is so sharp, so direct, so uncompromising. Do not speak, not yet, because silence in this hour is not passivity. It is positioning. It is the moment when heaven is allowing truth to surface without your interference. Think about it. When you stop explaining, people are forced to face themselves. When you stop reacting, their own actions echo louder in their mind. When you step back without a word, everything they tried to hide begins to rise on its own. This is not theory. This is law. Even Jesus, standing before accusation, chose silence over defense. And that silence carried more authority than any argument ever could. It was not a weakness. It was controlled under divine timing. And now, that same pattern is being required of you, because what you are stepping into cannot be built on emotional reactions. It must be built on clarity, discipline, and alignment. And here is where it goes deeper. Silence is confronting your ego. It is challenging that part of you that wants to be understood immediately, that wants to correct every misunderstanding, that wants to prove your worth to people who were never qualified to define it. But listen carefully. This is where transformation happens, as see is. Lewis wrote in Mere Christianity, humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. And right now, silence is pulling you into that exact posture, not shrinking you, but refining you, not silencing your value, but removing your need to defend it. Because true authority does not shout, it does not chase validation, it does not rush to explain. It stands, it waits, and it lets truth reveal itself. So let me ask you something, and answer it honestly. Have you noticed how your silence is already changing the way people treat you? Even when you say nothing at all, something is shifting, and it is no longer subtle. The pressure you feel right now is not in your imagination. It is the direct result of your silence colliding with someone else's expectations. They thought they understood you. They thought they knew how you would react, how you would explain, how you would come back and try to fix what they disrupted. But you didn't. You stayed still. You pulled your energy back. And that single decision has created a storm in places you cannot see. Right now, someone is replaying your last interaction over and over again. searching for a clue, a weakness, a sign that they still have access to you, and they cannot find it. Your silence has removed their ability to predict you, and without that control, they are unraveling internally. This is what pressure looks like in the unseen. It does not announce itself loudly. It builds quietly, tightening around the thoughts of those who expected you to remain the same. They are overthinking your absence, questioning their own actions, wondering if they miscalculated, wondering if they lost something they never thought they could lose. And here is the truth that makes this moment so critical. Your silence is forcing them to confront themselves. No distraction, no argument, no noise to hide behind, just their own reflection echoing back at them. That is why this feels intense. That is why the atmosphere feels heavy. Because silence removes illusion. It strips away the narratives people hide behind and exposes intention without permission. And you must understand this clearly. If you speak too soon, you relieve that pressure. You give them clarity before they are ready to face truth. You hand them relief when they are meant to sit in realization. That is why restraint right now is not just discipline. It is alignment with something far greater than emotion. As C. said, Lewis wrote in the Screwtape Letters, courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point. And this is your testing point, not when things are easy, but right here, when everything in you wants to respond, to clarify, to take back control through words. But real control in this moment is the absence of reaction. Real strength is letting the pressure do its work without interfering, because while they are collapsing internally, something is rising for you. Authority, clarity, separation from what once had influence over you. So stay exactly where you are. Stay unmoved, because the longer you hold this position, the clearer everything becomes, and the more undeniable your shift will be. And now ask yourself this: if your silence is already creating this much pressure, what will happen when the truth they are avoiding finally breaks through? Something has already begun. Even if you cannot fully see it yet, the shift is not coming, it is here. It is moving beneath the surface, rearranging people, redirecting paths, closing certain doors while quietly preparing others that no one around you could have predicted. What you are feeling is not confusion, it is transition. It is the space between what used to be and what is about to be revealed. And this space always feels unfamiliar because it requires you to trust without visible proof. But make no mistake, heaven is not inactive in this moment. There is a divine reordering taking place, and your silence is the very thing allowing it to unfold without interference. People who once had easy access to you are being pushed back. Connections that drained you are weakening, and at the same time, something new is being aligned, something cleaner, something more intentional, something that matches the level you are stepping into. There is even someone influential, is observant, positioned beyond your current circle, who has begun to notice you, not because you announced yourself, not because you explained your worth, but because your restraint revealed a kind of strength that cannot be imitated. This is how elevation begins, quietly, without applause, without warning, and this is why you must not break now. Because this is the exact phase where many people lose what was already being prepared for them. They get impatient. They speak too soon. They try to force clarity instead of allowing it to arrive. But your instruction has not changed. Stay silent a little longer, because the moment you are in right now is a bridge, and bridges are not meant to be rushed. They are meant to be crossed with precision. On one side is who you used to be: accessible, reactive, constantly explaining, on the other side is who you are becoming: centered, guarded, aligned, and no longer available for confusion. And the crossing point is silence. Every moment you choose not to react, you move forward. Every moment you resist the urge to explain, you step closer to alignment. And what is waiting on the other side is not just a better situation. It is a different level of life entirely. But let me ask you something, and answer it honestly. Can you feel that something is already changing around you? Even if you cannot yet explain what it is, if you feel it, if something inside you is confirming this shift, then type "IT is happening for me" in the comments as your declaration. Because what is unfolding now will not remain hidden for much longer. The test is here, and it will not announce itself gently. It will come through a message you didn't expect, a tone that provokes you, a situation designed to pull you back into the version of yourself that reacts, explains, and tries to fix what was never yours to carry. Do not underestimate this moment. This is the line that determines whether you step into what has been prepared or circle back into what you are already being released from. There will be someone who reaches out, not with clarity, but with confusion, not with truth, but with fragments. They may question you, challenge you, or try to reopen a door that heaven has already begun to close. And it will feel familiar. That is what makes it dangerous, because familiarity has a way of disguising itself as comfort, even when it is the very thing that once drained you. This is not a coincidence. This is an examination, just like Joseph, who was tested in silence before elevation. You are being observed in how you respond when pressure meets memory. Will you return to what you used to tolerate? Or will you stand firm in what you have now become? This is where discipline becomes destiny. Because one response, one emotional reaction, one moment of trying to explain yourself again can reopen cycles that were already breaking. And the weight of this moment is deeper than you think. Because it is not just about a conversation, it is about alignment. It is about whether you trust what God is doing enough to remain still, even when everything in you wants to move. C.S. Lewis wrote in The Problem of Pain, God whispers to us in our pleasures, but shouts in our pains. And right now, this tension you feel, this urge to respond, this discomfort, it is not random, it is a signal. It is heaven speaking louder, calling you higher, asking you to choose growth over habit, because silence here is not avoidance. It is obedience. It is choosing not to interfere with a process that is already correcting what was hidden, already exposing what was unclear, and already preparing something that does not require you to chase it. So hold your position. Let the message sit unanswered. If it carries confusion, let the provocation pass without reaction. Let them wonder. Let them feel the absence of your old responses, because the longer you remain aligned, the clearer everything becomes, and the less you will ever need to explain again. And now ask yourself this: when the moment comes and everything in you is triggered to respond, will you choose temporary relief? Or will you protect the breakthrough that is already within reach? There is someone specific who did not expect this version of you to exist. They were comfortable with who you used to be: accessible, responsive, predictable. They knew how to reach you, how to trigger you, how to pull you back into conversations that always seemed to revolve around their needs, their timing, their control. But something changed, and that change did not come with an announcement. It came with silence, and now that silence is echoing inside them louder than anything you ever said. They are thinking about you more than you realize. Your absence has created a space they cannot fill. And for the first time, they are being forced to sit with that emptiness without distraction. They are replaying moments, questioning their own behavior, trying to understand where the shift happened, how you slipped out of the role they had placed you in. They expected you to return, to explain, to soften, to make things easier for them again. But you didn't, and that is what is unsettling them the most, because now they are facing a reality they were not prepared for. You are no longer operating from the same place. The version of you they relied on is gone, and what remains is something they cannot control. This is awakening. But it does not feel peaceful on their side. It feels like pressure, like regret, like the slow realization that they may have misjudged your value entirely. They are starting to see that your presence was not ordinary, that your consistency, your patience, your energy carried more weight than they ever acknowledged. And now, without it, everything feels different. Conversations feel empty, connections feel shallow, and they cannot quite explain why nothing feels the same anymore. This is what happens when silence removes illusion. It forces truth to rise without permission. But listen carefully, because this is where many people lose their position. When that person begins to shift, when they start to soften, when they move closer again, it will feel like an opportunity to speak, to clarify, to reconnect on old terms. And that is the trap, because if nothing has truly changed in them, your words will only rebuild what your silence just broke. So stay aware, observe without rushing, let their actions speak before you offer anything in return, because real change is not proven in words. It is revealed in consistency over time. And right now, what is happening inside them is not yet complete. It is only beginning. So let me ask you this. If they are only now starting to realize your worth, are you ready to return to the same level they once held you at? Or are you prepared to require something higher before you ever open your mouth again? The moment is approaching, and it will not look the way you expected. It will not come with a grand announcement or a perfect explanation. It will arrive suddenly, quietly, almost casually, yet you will feel it immediately. A message, a call, a shift in tone, an action that carries more truth than anything they have said before. This is what your silence has been building toward. Not control, not revenge, but revelation. Because when you stopped speaking, you created a space where truth could no longer hide. And now that truth is pressing forward, looking for a way out, they are reaching a point where holding it in is becoming heavier than releasing it. Their thoughts have been circling, their emotions tightening, their understanding deepening without you saying a single word. And that pressure is about to break. But listen carefully, because this is where everything can either align or collapse depending on what you do next. When they finally step forward, when they speak, when they reveal what was once hidden, your response becomes the next test. Not a test of emotion, but a test of alignment. Will you rush to meet them where they used to be? Or will you remain where you have risen? Because not every confession deserves immediate access. Not every apology deserves instant trust. And not every return is meant to restore what once was. Some returns are meant to reveal, to confirm, to close cycles that were left unfinished. This is why you must stay centered. Listen more than you speak. Observe more than you react. Let their words unfold fully before you decide what place, if any, they still hold in your life. Because what is coming is not just about them. It is about you stepping fully into discernment. You are no longer responding from emotion. You are responding from clarity, and clarity does not rush. It does not chase. It does not fill silence with unnecessary words. It waits. It watches. And it moves only when truth is undeniable. So when that moment arrives, and it will remember this, your silence brought this